Wow. This is our last day of truthfulness, the last day of truthfulness. But we're going to keep bringing truthfulness right along, but the last formal day that we'll look at it. So today I'd like to look at truthfulness in the light of the Four Noble Truths. The Buddha's teachings on insight arise in the context of the Four Noble Truths. And it's easy to forget this big picture frame. These truths teach us about suffering, where and how it exists, its causes, that freedom from suffering is possible, and that there is a path that leads to the end of suffering. Suffering is thoroughly examined, but from the inside, from inside of our hearts, minds, and bodies. These truths are based on seeing reality as it is. That is, seeing clearly, unbiased, untainted by our wants and our preferences, and on seeing reality for ourselves, ehipassiko. That is, doing our own assessing. Don't trust anyone else's account or experience. Come to trust your own assessment through the lens of mindfulness. Come and see, bear witness to yourself in action and assess without judgment, without fanfare, but with mindfulness, with a non-judgmental, non-self-referential posture of carrying attention, as if a beneficial presence, as if a wise elder, as if a dear friend was sitting with you in this moment. Now look, now see and feel, and then assess for yourself, what is it you are doing and how you are doing it that is causing stress and suffering for yourself? And what and how are you doing that's decreasing it? Much of the practice is developing the courage to look at ourselves, at what is happening more closely, to stomach what it is we are feeling, because unpleasant doesn't feel good. And to grow the skills to mindfully assess, caringly, non-judgmentally assess what is happening through the lens of, say, cause and effect, which gives us the insight into when we are being skillful and when we're being unskillful. It takes patience and courage to be able to see and feel what is really going on. The seeing is based on self-examination. We pay attention and are honest with ourselves about what we see and feel. This is truthfulness, looking closely, caringly, carefully at what we are doing and how we are doing it, and seeing how it really feels. Dropping in, say, to feel the felt experience of anger and feeling the discomfort. Oh, this is what anger feels like when it's coursing through my veins, right? This is how we learn to see the stress of anger, to see the stress that anger causes us. This is how we learn to put down the hot poker, by feeling the ouch, by feeling the burn. Who wants to feel that? Who wants to feel that kind of energy running through their veins? Honest self-examination can bear fruit if it is viewed from the place of mindfulness. When we are angry at someone, for example, often our first instinct is to turn to the other person and blame them, or focus on their faults or what they did wrong. Mindfulness practice encourages us to instead turn toward ourselves. Turn inward and see what we are doing, what we are saying, what we are thinking in that moment, to see what is motivating the doing, saying, or thinking, and see how it feels in real time. Because it is in our doings and intentions, or it is our doings and intentions that we are interested in. These are the only things that we can do anything about. And because how we are feeling tells us something about our welfare, And it is our welfare that we are charged with looking after, with stewarding in this lifetime. In the end, it is our behavior that matters. We cannot control someone else's. This speaks to the law of karma. We are heirs to our karma, to our actions, not others' actions. It is our job to look out for ours and others to look out for theirs. The Buddha didn't like to talk about karma, except with regard to understanding the law of cause and effect and understanding that we are heirs to our actions. I find this a sobering thought, being heir to my actions, because I'm not perfect. I stumble daily, though gratefully with more awareness now, more kindness, and ever so slowly, more skillful. And I find that looking closely at cause and effect gives me insight into my skillfulness at any given moment. Cause and effect is a useful way of assessing whether our thoughts, words, or actions are skillful or unskillful. But in order to assess, we have to be willing to look and be honest with ourselves about what we find. This is truthfulness in action. When I find that I have spoken out of turn, spoken harshly, or caused someone pain, it is a sign that I have been unskillful, even if it wasn't my intention. But once seen, I can then discern how to best respond and begin to figure out how to not do that again. In mindfulness practice, we are discovering and unlearning our less skillful habits, noticing when and how they arise and slowly beginning to right the ship. And we are learning and strengthening the skillful ones. Each one of us is on our own path. Each one of us is learning for ourselves what behaviors we engage in that cause ourselves and others stress and harm, and what behaviors we already engage in that bring about peace and joy and happiness, that bring about less suffering and more ease of well-being. It's up to each of us, to the degree that we are willing, able, and interested to follow the path, to see and feel and assess for ourselves, using mindfulness as a lens, and see what leads to less suffering and what leads to more ease of well-being. We can do this. It's for our welfare. It only requires that we be honest with ourselves. This is the parami of truthfulness that is based on the Four Noble Truths. Thank you for your kind attention. All right, with kind eyes, gently turn the attention to this physical form, open it up, give it some room, make some space for breathing. See what stress you can let go of. Breath and movement help to release physical stress. Now take your time and begin to feel into a comfortable posture. Give the body whatever supports it needs, making sure that the knees are touching the floor and that the shoulders can relax. And perhaps if it feels comfortable, close the eyes. So we let go of some of the noise and can Very gently and clearly turn the attention inward. Drop the attention out of the mind. Drop it down into the physical form and feel breathing. And perhaps right now, if it feels helpful, take a few deeper than usual inhalations and deeper than usual exhalations. And let the breath go. Let it find its own rhythm, one that feels comfortable. Breathing in, opening up the whole of the interior from the base all the way up through the torso, through the tops of the shoulders, all the way up to the top of the head. And on the exhalation, softening and settling all the way down through the body into the base onto the ground. With each exhalation, feel how the body softens and settles all the way down onto the ground. And let's mix friendliness and warmth and kindness with the breath, so that with each inhalation, we're breathing with a sense of kindness. And for the next little while, we put a mindfulness stake in the ground and form the intention to not follow the mind road, to keep coming back inside and feeling into the experience of comfort and ease in the present moment. That's the North Star, comfort and ease. Breathing in, opening and receiving. Breathing out, letting go. Letting go of the stress of thinking. Letting go of the stress in the body. Kind eyes. And on the next inhalation, draw the attention back inside. And feel the organism sitting here. How does it feel? See if you can feel into the experience of ease and breathe with that. Breathe with whatever ease is available to you. This is the fruit of the practice, bringing forth comfort and ease, letting go of stress. And if you notice any places of tension, see if you can just soften around them as you sit here, breathing. And then drop in the awareness of the context. You sitting here with us sitting here with you. And how nice it is to practice in good company. So maybe breathe with whatever gratitude and appreciation is available for our presence, alone and together. Thank you so much for your practice today. Just gently rock around, move around a little bit in your seat. I'm going to stop the recording and give you permission to unmute, and we can have our goodbyes to one another.